All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. We'd like to welcome defending champion Kevin Na into the interview room at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open. Kevin defeated Patrick Cantley in a playoff to win last year. So Kevin, if we could just get an opening comment on the positive memories that come to mind when you look back to last year.
Yeah, it's a great memory. You know, I every time there's the trophy where it sits in my house. It's right in front of my master bedroom entrance, and every time I see it, it reminds me of the great week I had. I had an unbelievable putting week last year. Set the tour record and most feats made, and to share that moment with my family at my hometown was very special, and I'm very excited to be back at the Shriners Open. It's unfortunate that I don't get to see the fans or play in front of my home crowd, and also I'm a little disappointed I don't get to see Alec.
I was going to ask you about that. You made the donation last year to the Shriners Hospitals for Children after winning the RSM Birdies for Love competition. If you could speak to that a little bit and elaborate on your relationship with Alec.
Yeah, I got to know Alec through Shriners Open, and he's a great guy. I know his dream is to become a sports announcer, and I hope his dream comes true. And it made sense. Being the past champion and the defending champion of the Shriners Open, it made sense to donate that money to Shriners Hospital for Children. And I was happy to do it, and I'm glad I was able to have the opportunity. And hopefully I can do it again this year.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions from media that we have on the line. If you have a question, please type your name in the chat window, and I will call on you. We'll give it just a few minutes for those questions to come in.
Okay.
We'll start with Steve DeMaglio, USA Today. Go ahead, Steve.
Did Kenny buy last night?
No, he did not. We were at Spago's, and I'm not really supposed to go out, right? But we had to. My management team, Pro Sport, they drove all the way from Phoenix. They all got tested, drove up to see me. So we went out knowing Sophia was supposed to pick up the bill, but I had to pick up the bill. Steve, I can't hear you.
Steve, you're on mute. Sorry.
Kevin, is there any explanation in your last 7 starts here? You've missed 3 cuts, but you've won twice. Are you up and down or what?
And I think I've had a second as well in there.
Yes.
So I feel like when I'm playing well, that it's a golf course that I can win at and I can go low. And I just played a practice round last Friday with John Hund. I was 8 under with. We started on the back. I was 8 under with 3 holes to go, and I was like, man, I needed 3 more birdies. If I birded the last 3, I can shoot my best 60 here. And I parred the last 7, 8, and 9. But it's something about this place. I feel comfortable. I know the greens. I can putt well on. But when I'm not playing great, I think I expect so much that it can be a little disappointing during the round, and it's hard to get really pumped up when maybe I'm even par through 12 holes or 13 holes, whatever that might be. I think that's why you see a couple of the missed cuts.
Okay, thanks, man.
Next, we will go to Rex Hogger, Golf Channel.
Kevin, does it feel surreal at all being home for 2 weeks? And what is your experience on the other course next week?
Yeah, I'm really excited about these 2 weeks. I mean, when am I going to ever be able to play 2 tournaments in a row from home? Probably never. This is probably the first and the last time that'll ever happen. Obviously, Shriner, I love playing here. Next week at Shadow Creek, I've played the MGM Pro-Am there. I played it right before the playoff just to get another look at it. And it's a beautiful golf course. Looking forward to playing there. And I think people have seen it in that Tiger and Phil shootout. But, to see the whole field of the PGA Tour players play, it'll be exciting.
Next, we will go to Ben Everill, PGAtour.com.
Just a quick follow there about next week. Have you got your best Shadow Creek stories? I know not many people get to play it a lot, but some good people do when they're there.
I don't have too many good stories. It seems like always when I play there, it's for for the MGM Coca-Cola Pro-Am, and I always enjoy playing there. The greens are always in perfect condition. The grass is perfect. You know, it's a beautiful place to play. It's never busy because they only allow, you know, X amount of people to play or the high rollers that visit Vegas. And you know, oh, actually, I do have a story. I was playing. A few friends of mine wanted to play, so I went out there, and he brought a guest over, and he was an elder guy, and he was playing a par 4 as a 3-shot. We were up on the green talking, and he hits one. He yells 4, and I ducked down, hit me right in the middle of the back, and so my last memory of playing there is I got hit in the back.
Sensational. Was he very apologetic? Did he realize?
He was in shock. He's like, "Oh my God, what did I just do? I just took this guy out." I was fine.
Brilliant. I'll now bring it back to here. Your putting last year, just off the chain.
Yes.
In that event. Just reflect on that a year later, and do you think you can replicate that sort of thing in a 4-day tournament again?
If I ever do replicate that in any tournament, I think I'll win. I remember I was talking to Nota Begay at some tournament. He was talking about how good I putt. He was looking at my putter. He goes, man, how many feet of putts did you make? I mean, 550 feet of putts. How many strokes you gained? Like 14.2 or 3, whatever that was. He goes, yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, but you barely won. I was like, really? That's what you take from this? So we had a good laugh. But yeah, it was an amazing putting week. I actually did everything else pretty well too. I putted well, but I struck it pretty well too. I obviously had some mistakes that, you know, the triple on 10 obviously set me back. But you know, if I can putt it like that again this week, I feel really good about my chances of winning again. I have the same putter, so maybe lightning can strike twice.
Did it feel like you just couldn't miss? Because that's what it seemed like watching.
Yeah, I just felt really comfortable over the putts. I was seeing my line, and my speed was great, and you know, I just got over the putt, and there was no doubt that I was going to hit a good putt, and I was just focused and in the zone. I can't really remember missing any putts, but like people asked me on the playoff hole when Patrick made his first birdie and you had a 9-footer, were you concerned at all? And there was no doubt that I was going to make that, and we're going to an extra hole. And when I had like 3.5-footer to win, I mean, it's not a gimme. And I felt so comfortable. In some weeks you feel so comfortable over the ball, and some weeks you don't. And you know, last year it was one of those weeks that I just felt really comfortable and confident.
Cheers, thanks, mate.
Next, we'll go to Craig Robertson of the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Hey, Kevin. You've obviously had quite a bit of success on tour, but not a lot of success playing majors, and never made it to a Ryder Cup team. As your career has moved along, how important is it for you to focus on those things now?
Yeah, you know, I've played obviously, I want to say, not quite 40 majors, high 30s probably, and I've had 2 top 10s. 3 12th finishes, I think, 2 at the Masters and 1 at the. My best finish was 7th at Oakmont in the U.S. Open. I feel like the Masters I have the best chance at, and the way it sets up. There's no rough. You have to be a great chipper and a putter of the ball, and I am. I feel like Masters is a major that I want to really focus on. I also feel like at the certain right venues at the Open Championship I have a good chance at. But it seems like some of these PGAs and US Open, when the rough gets so thick that it favors such a long hitters, because the long hitters hit it so far out there and they have a shorter club in out of the rough, I feel like I'm at such a disadvantage, and it's really hard to overcome that disadvantage. And we're seeing that every year of these bombers overpowering these golf courses. And you know, at the certain venues like maybe Pinehurst, I had an outside chance there last time we played there. I have chances, but I just got to pick the right venue. Yes, is it a goal of mine to win one? Yes. And do I think I can win one? Yes, at the right venue and hoping the Masters. It is disappointing to play the last few majors I've played. I have been very disappointed. And obviously the last tournament I played was the U.S. Open, and it was very disappointing. And am I trying to do something to change that? Yes, I am. I'm working on things, not drastically, but I'm trying to improve my distance. I'm trying to improve whatever I can to play better in those majors. And the other question was Ryder Cup. Yes, I am. I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody told me that I was the highest career money earned without making any President's Cup or Ryder Cup team. So yes, it is disappointing. I have been right on the bubble. I thought last year's President's Cup I had a really good chance. But some of these times, like I've played good in the fall where they don't count towards the team points because it's a calendar year and the Ryder Cup or President's Cup is before the fall tournaments. Those tournaments haven't counted. So sometimes it was timing of when I played well that hurt me, but I'm hoping one of these days I'll make one of those teams.
So you mentioned the Bombers, which makes me think of Bryson, obviously. How does it feel being a veteran, seeing 20-somethings like Bryson and Colin winning majors at this point?
It's exciting. I mean, where the golf game is at, I think we're at a really, really good point in the game of golf because not only have these young kids in their 20s winning majors, you know, Tiger Woods won the Masters last year. So these guys, there's so many guys that are in the mix, and these young guys are really changing how it's done. And Bryson, obviously a bomber that won the U.S. Open, but Colin's not a bomber who also won a major. But it's nice to see these young kids be so successful, and the average age out here is getting much, much younger. But at the same time, there are still veterans, older guys that are pulling it off and still winning tournaments and winning majors. And you know, it's nowadays I feel like I'm getting up there and I root for the old guys.
Right. Does that put any more pressure on you to see these younger guys? Does that just add to the pool of people you have to beat?
Well, I think the depth of field is getting better every year, and we're seeing that. No, I think if I play my game and at the right places, I'm gonna get my share of wins, and I'm gonna do just fine. But like I said, you know, the scheduling, I have to be very picky about what I play and where I play. And that's just my game, and I don't think I want to change that. At my age, I don't think I can really make too big of a change. I think it's too big of a risk.
Thanks.
We will go back to Steve D'Amiglio, USA Today.
Kevin, returning to the Bombers theme, you've been here quite a bit, you played here quite a bit. What can Bryson do to this golf course?
There are definitely some holes that he can take advantage of, but not a whole lot. I'm thinking maybe 9, 14, 15, just about everybody gets into. 16, he'll have a shorter club in, but everybody gets into it. There's only a few holes, but people forget how good of a putter he is. You know, I've played with him in team play events, and you know, I play practice rounds with him. I'm really good friends with him, and I see his game, and people don't give him enough credit for how good of a putter he is and how good he reads the greens. And you can't win golf tournaments without making putts. I mean, you can bomb it all you want, but you got to realize that this guy makes a lot of putts. Not only does he hit bombs, he makes bombs. I don't hit bombs, but I make bombs.
Perfect. Thanks, big man.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, those are all the questions that we have on the line. We appreciate your time, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.